The worst thing is not being betrayed, but being betrayed by the one person you thought would never do it. I broke up with my girlfriend last week, but no one knows the real reason. My family thinks we just grew apart. My friends guess it's because of work. She's probably telling everyone else a different story. But here's the truth. A truth I've never told anyone until today. 8 months ago, I won a windfall. $750,000 after taxes. No one knew, except her. I thought, we've been together for 3 years. She deserves to know. I believed this good news would bring us closer together, but I was wrong. Very wrong. Since then, I've started to see things I never noticed before. And those things have slowly turned love into doubt. Today, I will tell the story that I have kept hidden, a story that is not easy to tell. But maybe someone out there needs to hear it. Before everything changed, we were fine. Not flashy, not too romantic, but very honest. We shared every little thing with each other, a simple dinner after a long day, laughter when watching a familiar movie, or just a hug at 2 a.m. She also never asked for much from me. I have never heard her complain about the lack of material things, we used to say. Just having each other is enough. That is why when I won the lottery, I immediately thought of her. I did not hesitate and did not think about hiding it. I just wanted to share that joy with the person I trusted the most. I clearly remember the moment I told her. She was silent for a few seconds, then smiled brightly, and then she hugged me very tightly. I remember at that moment I thought to myself, I am really lucky. But trust is perhaps the easiest thing to give and the easiest to betray. If I had known what was waiting for me, I would have kept quiet forever. Things began to change, not loudly, but quietly. She started talking about trips. At first it was, we should take a vacation to relieve stress. Then it became, we should go to France, Italy, Maldives a few times a year. She started talking about the future, but it was no longer, we will live modestly, have a dog, and open a small coffee shop. It was, we should buy a penthouse. You should invest in me to open a fashion brand. I know I can succeed, I just need the initial capital. I listened, I laughed, I tried to convince myself, she is just excited. Everyone dreams when they have the opportunity to change their lives. But then the conversations became one-sided. Quiet evenings turned into expense reports and business plans. And every time I hesitated, her eyes were no longer the same. Once I asked, if I didn't have that money, would you still choose me? She smiled but didn't answer. That was the first time my heart felt a little cold. I didn't intend to read her phone, but she was taking a shower at that time. The screen lit up, a message arrived, and I saw the first line. I finally found a meal ticket. I couldn't believe my eyes. My heart was pounding as if it wanted to break my chest. I opened the conversation. Each line appeared like a knife. My life is stable. He is easy to control, very gentle. Just need to be a little sweet. I just need to build a brand. Then we'll figure it out. Figure it out? What does that mean? I sat there, speechless. 3 years, trust, memory, love suddenly became just a business deal? An invest, profit, withdraw plan? When I faced her, her eyes were red. She cried. She said, I didn't mean it. It was just a joke with my best friend. But I saw a different look. I read the words that could not be erased, and most importantly, I no longer felt the love in each of those words of explanation. I only felt the emptiness and the utmost disappointment. I didn't scream. I didn't smash things. I didn't ask any more why questions. I just looked at her. And in those eyes, I realized that all explanations were too late now. 3 years didn't break up because of a text message. It broke up because after reading it, I realized that she didn't love me the way I thought. Maybe she had loved me truly before, but now she doesn't. I said, we should stop. She cried and tried to hold me back. But I don't blame myself for not hating. I just feel tired. Sometimes people don't break up because they don't love each other anymore. but because that love is no longer pure enough to keep. I packed up a few things, left the apartment that we used to call home, without looking back or sending any more messages. When people asked me why we broke up, I just said, we grew apart. Because telling the truth wouldn't make it any less painful. It just reminded me of how much I trusted the wrong person. I used to think that money could change lives, and it could. But I didn't think that it could also unmask the people around you. When you have money, you don't know who loves you and who loves your wallet. You don't know what is caring and what is a plan disguised as affection. I lost someone I used to trust, but in return, I found something I didn't have before. I know what I deserve and what I shouldn't accept. Some people say I was lucky to get out early. Some people ask me why I didn't take revenge, why I didn't tell anyone, why I didn't expose them. But I think forgiveness is not because they deserve it, but because I need to let go to move on. True love is not about what you have, but about how someone chooses to be with you when you have nothing. I don't regret falling in love. I only regret not realizing it sooner. That true love doesn't need to be measured by money. But today, I learned, and I won't forget. I used to think that I couldn't live without someone, but now I know that life doesn't have to depend on anyone. After all the breakups, all the misunderstandings, I understand my own worth better. No one can lose me unless I let them. The truth is, there are wounds that you have to heal yourself, and sometimes you have to hit rock bottom to see yourself, to realize that you can stand up. Love, it's precious, but it's not everything. Sometimes loving yourself is the most important thing. I don't regret the past, but I also don't let it define my future. Now, I am learning to live for myself, not for the expectations of others. Every morning when I wake up, I know that this new day is mine. And where I will go, only I can decide. Happiness is not something far away. It is simply living each day to the fullest, loving and taking care of myself. And I now am ready for the next journey. There was a time when I thought I would never escape the ghosts of the past.